Today, I'm going to talk about the importance of networking. Hi, I'm Dan, I run Volca Media. I'm a content creator for bands and musicians, and today I'm going to be talking about how networking has helped myself get more work, and if you implement these things, then it should help yourself too. Now, talking in terms of being a creator for bands and musicians, I would say get to know your local scene. Talk to your local bands, your local venues, and start off small. I myself am a musician and I've been a part of my local scene since I was about 13 years old. So I've spent a lot of time talking with local bands, and some of these local bands that I was talking to back in the day turned out to be not so local bands anymore. You know, if I'd not created these relationships with these bands and these band members all those years ago, I wouldn't be able to be doing the work that I'm doing right now. You know, I always say that, yes, I started working with bigger bands very quickly, but I have been networking with bands for the past 16 years, so it hasn't been a very quick process at all. Not only would these bands possibly take you on as their touring creator, or your local venue might take you on as their house videographer or photographer, but you're also getting a lot of practice from that, and it really helps with honing your craft and learning your equipment, finding out what you need to be shooting, what you don't need to be shooting, and it just generally helps you grow as a creator. And not only that, one of these small bands might turn out to be the next Slipknot. Another thing to keep in mind whilst networking is don't go into these situations with business and money in mind. Remember, what you're trying to create here are long-lasting relationships and friendships. If you go into these things with a business kind of mindset, I think it really shows, and especially when it comes to musicians and bands, the last thing they want is to work with somebody who only wants to get their money. All of these relationships and connections that I have with the bands that I work with and management, they come through just talking and proving myself mainly through my work. And another big part of this is also follow each other on social media. Follow each other's Instagrams, let them know your Instagram handle. And naturally that way they will be seeing your work if you use your Instagram as your business card. And if they like your work and can see that you can bring them value, they're more inclined to work with you. Really, you should let your work speak for itself. And that's another main thing. You need to make sure that you are posting the content that you're creating. If you don't post the content that you're creating, you can't expect to get any work, because people need to see what you can do and what you can bring to them. Now, another important thing, or at least I think it is anyway, is talk to other people who are in your profession, who are in your line of work. You know, this isn't a competition. Nobody is out for anybody else's job. We're all out here and we're all doing great work. Support other creators, talk to them, make contacts with these other creators and learn from them, and maybe they can learn something from you as well. And just remember, there are no such things as big shots. A lot of this type of work is very subjective, so try not to be bogged down with imposter syndrome and doubting your own work. Just reach out to these people, talk to them. They're only people after all. And speaking of talking with other creators, if you end up getting some work that you physically can't take on, pay it forward. If you know and trust that these other creators that you've met and talked to could take over that job and do a really good job of it, pass it on to them. You never know, that may be paid back in future. So it's another good way of networking and creating these friendships and relationships. And lastly, don't expect any of this to work overnight. These are just things that I've done along the way and they've worked for me, but it has taken a very long time. It's the same with anything. As long as you put in the time and you commit, you will reap the rewards. Now, if you got any value from this video, please leave a like and a comment. It really helps these videos. And if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.